So we are recording from now, we will send the link after that to everyone. אנחנו מקליטים מעכשיו, שלום חווה. כל מי שמצטרף עכשיו להכין שני שלטים. שלט אחד עם העיר והארץ שאתם גרים עכשיו, ושלט שני עם הכתובת בפיוטרקוב, שהמשפחה הייתה גרה. Everyone that is joining now, please prepare two signs. One sign with the name of the city and the country that you live now. And the second sign is the address in Piotrkov that your family used to live. If you know. If not, you have to search for that information. Okay, more people are joining us now.
נתנאל, איפה לכתוב?
תעשי את זה על שלט כזה גדול, שתוכלי להראות את זה במסך.
לכתוב בבית כאילו?
כן, תכתבי.
טוב, זה...
על דף, על דף.
Mia mamma dressuale, to są nazwiska.
אוקיי.
Widać coś?
בוגדנסקי, רוס, ליפל.
Widać. Widać, bo Nathaniel przeczyta. Oj, Dina.
אוקיי.
היי, דינה.
אקזט?
Okay, people, we'll start in a few minutes. We'll let some people more to join us. עוד מעט נתחיל.
Hvad?
Jeg tror ikke, jeg kan tale med det.
I just wanted to say that anyone who wants to write anything in chat, you can write in chat whatever you want, okay? We'll have it after the meeting. אפשר לכתוב בצ'אט כל מה שרוצים, וזה יישמר לנו לאחרי זה. לידקה, you have your address in Piotrkov, where do you live? Which street?
I put it on the chat if you're talking to me, Lisa Samuelson.
Okay, hello Lisa, how are you?
Hi, I can't figure out how to change my...
Kaliska 7, I see Shosh Genez. פילסוצקי, איזה מספר עליה? 101. טוב.
פילסוצקי. וואו.
Hello, Ervin. מירי, תפתחי את המצלמה. Hello, Alan. Alan, open your camera.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Hello, Gil. How are you? David Rappaport, how are you, my friend? Okay, Jacob Jakobovitz. David Jakobovitz. Nice, good friends are here.
רואים אותי, נתנאל?
כן, לא רואים, תפתחי את המצלמה.
רגע, אני פשוט לא יודעת איך לעשות את זה.
יש למטה. צד שמאל.
Anyone that is joining now...
יש למטה, בצד שמאל מצלמה.
Anyone that is joining... Hello, Robert Dessa, open your camera. Anyone that is joining now, write two signs. One sign, one sheet of paper, the city and the country or state that you live now on a piece of paper. Second sign is the address from Piotrkov that your family used to live. Okay? The address from Piotrkov. Shalom Doda Bracha, יקרה. Okay, we'll start in a few minutes. We'll let some more people join. עוד מעט נתחיל. ניתן לעוד אנשים להצטרף. Oh, someone from Denmark, from Copenhagen.
Your microphone.
שמרגד, hello, שלום. מירי, תפתחי את המצלמה. יוסי מילשטיין, תפתח את המצלמה. סוניה, תפתחי את המצלמה. היידי אוריך, how are you?
אני לא יודע.
W-I.
מדבר עם סבתא, אני לא יכול לעזור. Okay.
Nathaniel, I just got an email from Paris.
Yeah.
There is a new president. We haven't dealt too much with Paris in...
Okay, Irving, it's not the time now.
got it.
סוניה, תפתחי את המצלמה. ריצ'רד גומולינס, open your camera. מירי, תפתחי את המצלמה.
אני מחפשת, נתנאל, לא מוצאת.
אני מצטער, אני לא יכול לעזור לך עכשיו.
מרים, תסתכלי למטה, מתחת לתמונות, בצד שמאל, יש צילום של מצלמת וידאו, ותלחצי על זה.
מתחת לתמונות בצד שמאל.
מטה. יש תמונה של מישהו ויש תמונה של מצלמה. תפתחי את זה.
49.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll start shortly, we'll start another 2 minutes, 7:05 we will start. נתחיל ב7:05. ניתן לו לשרים?
נתנאל, אתה שומע?
כן, שומע דוב.
דובי, יש לך ID ששלחת לחבר'ה?
לא צריך ID, אם נכנסים לקישור לא צריך שום ID.
כן, כן, אבל זה בפלאפון, אבל מי שרוצה להיכנס במחשב לא יכול.
לא צריך ID. אם הוא לוחץ על הקישור נכון, הוא לא
Now
צריך.
you can. No.
Hello, Robert Dessa, our honor that you are here.
Hi, Toby.
היי, ירווינג. עושה אצלך, ירווינג?
Zel bezag.
אתה נראה עם הזקן. איי. תוריד אותו כבר.
Okay, anyone who wants to write during our meeting in the chat, you can write in the chat whatever you want. I said to everyone to prepare 2 sheets of paper, one with the city and country or state that you live, and the second one is your family address in פיוטרקוב, okay? So prepare 2 sheets of paper, להכין 2 דפים, אחד עם הכתובת בישראל, והשני עם הכתובת שהיה בפיוטרקוב. Okay, Starvashevska 25, Garnsaska Street, okay, Robert Mochkovich. Okay, we'll start in 1 minute. מרים, לא רואים טוב את זה, זה לא כתוב טוב.
לא רואים טוב? אני אכתוב בגדול.
אוקיי. עם צבע. Okay, it's 7:05, we will start. So, welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone. My name is Netanel Yechieli, and I'm talking to you from Alon Shvut, from the house of my parents, not far from Jerusalem. כן, אני מדבר מאלון שבות, לא רחוק מירושלים, בישראל. And I have the honor to moderate and to conduct this special meeting. It's the second meeting after we had the first one in Yom HaShoah. The main topic that we will focus on is the ways of preserving and commemorating the פיוטרקוב Jewish community today in the future. We will have some few speakers that will from different places in the world, and each one of them will give us his perspective on this topic. I ask everyone to be on mute, okay? Don't open your microphones. Just the one who is talking will open the microphone. And you can always write things in chat, okay? In chat, you can write whatever you want. Let's do like a little exercise of introducing one himself. Anyone who has a sign of the place he lives now, put it now on the screen, okay? Put it now on the screen. Jerusalem, Israel, Boston, Los Angeles, California, okay? California. Who do we have more? Write signs with the place you live now. Tel Aviv. Okay, Israel. Philadelphia. Okay, it's Philadelphia. Any more signs? Okay, that's great. Now you put another sign with the address of the family in פיוטרקוב. עכשיו תשימו את הכתובת בפיוטרקוב, ובואו נראה את הכתובות בפיוטרקוב. Okay, Zeruzalimska 17, Starvashevska 25, it's our neighbors. Kaliska 7, okay, Pilsudski 101, Charniskego 8, Kaliska 7, I saw. Anyone? Chichikomaya, okay, Tamar Hess. Any more addresses? Grodska 3. Stara Vashavska, what's the number? Hannah, what's the number? Stara Vashavska 14, okay, neighbors, we are number 6. Aleya 3, Maya, okay. Any more addresses?
Yeah, you got mine.
Where's yours? Say yours. Okay, so
21 Pilsudski.
Pilsudski, okay. So thank you very much to everyone. Anyone wants to join?
41.
41, okay. Write it in the chat. Litka, what is your address? We have some people here from פיוטרקוב. Hello, Michael. I see you, Michael. Welcome. Okay. Okay. אני מבקש מכולם לסגור את המיקרופונים. I will ask everyone to shut down your microphone. Okay, I muted everyone. Most of our meeting will be in English, but part of it will be also in Hebrew, because some Hebrew speakers who do not understand English. אז רוב הפגישה תהיה באנגלית, אבל יהיה גם חלק ממנה בעברית. ואני רוצה להזמין את הלל ירקוני. I have the great honor to invite הלל ירקוני, born in פיוטרקוב, went through all the Holocaust, and good friend and good active of all the committee in Israel. He will speak with us from Ein Hod. And now I ask Hillel Yarkoni to introduce himself and to say his speech. Hillel, bevakasha. רגע, הלל, איפה אתה? Where is Hillel? 1 minute.
He's right below you.
רגע, הלל. הלל תתחיל עכשיו. עכשיו פתחתי לך את המיקרופון.
אוקיי, ערב טוב.
תדבר בקול.
שמי, my name today is Hillel Yarkoni, but I was born as Henrik Greenberg. I am probably better recognized by relating to my parents. I am the son of Dr. Abraham Greenberg, a very known doctor in the city, particularly by the ladies, because he was a gynecologist. And I think that most of the women that gave birth between in the 30s were assisted by my father. Well, I was born in Piotrków in January 1933. And when the Holocaust burst, actually when the Second World War started, I was less than 7 years old. Well, to tell the whole story of my survival will take a long time. So I shall limit myself to a certain event, which in my opinion was a very dramatic, at least in my life. So far, Nathaniel. Shall I translate it to Hebrew?
No, you continue in English.
Okay.
I will translate for a minute. אבא שלי הלל גרינברג היה גינקולוג, רוב הלידות בקהילה היהודית היו שלו, והוא נולד כהנרי גרינברג, ובשביל לספר את כל סיפור השואה זה ייקח הרבה זמן, אז הוא ידבר כמה דברים בקצרה. אוקיי.
I was 3 times I was standing on the selection square. Everybody remembers it, probably. In front of the block. And the first time, on the first day of the actions, so-called actiot, and the second time, I must remark that I remember the events but the chronology of these events are a bit mixed. So I am not, the time is not exactly, or the order is not exactly as it should be. But the second time I was sent to the synagogue and miraculously saved from there. And the last time, the second time actually, when we were sent to the synagogue, it was the action of purge of the whole intelligentsia of the Jewish, of the Jews. The intelligentsia had their mind. Actually, it was marked against the doctors, medical doctors, actually. And the last time, it was on the 22nd of October, 1942. The last time, I mean, the third time. By the way, the event that I am going to describe is well described by Ben Gelade in his book, The Tale of One City. But I should tell it from my personal point of view or personal experience. This was an extra action, because from the previous one, which was a day before, few cars on the train were found that they were still empty. So in order not to waste the empty cars, the Nazis decided to make another action. So we were, early afternoon, we were chased out from homes and lined on the square, square, we called it Platz Schwitzen, the square of exercises, because before the war, the fire brigade and the military were exercising on this square. So, and a group of Nazis were passing along the lines and just on random sending the people, the victims actually, to the wagons, to the place. They were in a very good mood because they were laughing at because everyone who was asked, what is the occupation? The answer usually was, I am the leader of a group of workers. Well, and we were formed in such a way that the head of the family had to stand the first, was in the front, keeping his working document in front of him, his wife behind him, and the children, if there were any, between them. So I was standing between my father and my mother, and beside us stand a small, I mean, they were not tall, small family. And the women told I want to stay by Dr. Greenberg. The Nazi came to this family, and just by not asking anything, but by a motion of a hand, they sent them to the victims group. My mother was whispering to my father, don't tell that you are a doctor, because he was not supposed to be there, because the action against the doctors was a day or 2 days before. Okay, my father was standing quiet. he was taller by a whole head than the 3 or 4 supermen deciding on our lives. Okay, they asked him, what are you doing? Yes, he answered, yes, I am the leader of a group of workers. They burst in laughter and passed by. We were safe. That was actually a breaking point in my history in the Holocaust, in the ghetto, actually, because my parents decided to escape from the ghetto. And on the 31st of January, on December, 31st of December, 1942, we left the ghetto.
Hillel, you have a special story about Rabbi Lau.
Yeah, that's I had two encounters with Rav Lau. The first one was a few days ago, before this event, that we were standing along the Strava. Strava was a river, not a river, something like
a little tunnel.
Something like this. And I was standing by my father. I was tall. I was always tall, and women and men and women was standing separately, and I was standing by my father. And I saw that the Rabbi Lau is talking to my father very, 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 as to say it, hotly, very. He was moving his. He didn't have a right hand, you know. He was, and he was moving this hand. But he talked Yiddish, and I didn't understand anything. I today, unfortunately, don't know Yiddish. And after some time, we were already at home. I asked my father what he was talking about. He was calling us to uprise. Well, and the event that I said, the last event, suddenly we saw, this was the first time that I was exposed to Rav Lau. And the second time was on this last action, when suddenly a whisper went along the lines, Rav Lau, Rabin Lau. And we saw him leaving the lands and joining the group of the victims. Another person that I remember was Maniak Litmanovich. Somebody remembers him from the older one. Maniak Litmanovich was a son, he was a pianist. He was a son of Litmanovich, the owners of the pharmacy, I think on the Rynek Tribunalski. And I knew him personally because I was a friend of his cousin, Dr. Różański. So I remember him also joining the...
Okay, Hillel, אנחנו צריכים...
Well, this is the... I understand. The story of my survival will be, of course, too long to tell. So I will stop at this place.
So, thank you very much to Hillel Yarkoni. It's a great honor to have the first generation with us in 2020. It's amazing and exciting. And anyone who wants to hear more about the story of Hillel Yarkoni, you can connect him. Okay, you can send me email or WhatsApp, and I'll send you Hillel's number.
I want only to add something.
Okay.
Well, I am, in 1950 we left, we were saved, of course, in the January 1945. And in 1950 we went to Israel. And I joined the Army, the Navy, and then I was for 43 years a seaman. And 34 years, 37 years, I was a shipmaster. And now I'm retired and have 3 sons and 8 children, 8 grandchildren.
Amazing.
And I live in Haifa.
Okay. Now I'll open everyone and we can clap hands to Hillel.
באזור הציבורי כן.
Okay. So thank you to Hillel. Now I want to invite Michael Helfgott, the son of Ben Helfgott from England, talking from England, to share some of his experience of thoughts about how to commemorate and preserve. Michael, open your microphone. Okay, Michael, I see you. Open your microphone. I open it. Just a minute. Open your microphone, Michael. Okay.
There we go.
Now we hear you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. And Hillel, that was really remarkable, and I'd like to hear
Michael,
more.
put your face a little bit down so we'll see you.
Ah.
Okay, now we see you.
You see me? Okay.
Yeah, but look down, so look to the camera.
Okay. Okay. So I feel amongst friends here. I see a lot of faces that I know and I've seen over the last few years. Let me just tell you a few things about me. I'm actually post-war child, born in 1969. I'm 50 years old. My parents, Ben Helfgott, Arza Helfgott. I'm lucky that they are still both with us. I don't think they're on this call, although they were trying to log on, but for some reason I don't think they're on. I actually went to Piotrakov with both my older brother and my parents when I was 15 years old, back in 1985. And it was still under communist rule, and I can remember it vividly to this day. And I felt a strong connection with the city, with the town. And a lot was spoken about in my house about Piotrakov and about the people and about what happened there, the good and the bad, the stories of what happened during the war and also what happened before the war. My father generally enjoyed his childhood and felt he had a childhood where he was happy, and so I had largely happy memories of Piotrakov, but of course there was a dark side because of what happened later. It was a very monumental visit for me and my family to go back, and for my father to be able to take his 2 of his young sons to the place where he grew up. Through the years, a long gap before I went back to Piotrakov, and I'm delighted that I did go back, and I'm very thrilled that a number of the people on this call were responsible. And I really say this genuinely. We have extraordinary people involved in what's going on with Piotrakov and the Shabbaton and everything surrounding that, and there is so much around that, has been an extraordinary addition to my life, because I've been able, with my father now 90 years old, to visit a few times Piotrakov and be with a lot of you guys. And what has struck me is, first of all, of course, the synagogue and how it's still in a good state, and how it's a memory to our some of our parents, grandparents, and relatives, and then also the cemetery, which is not in such a good state, but nonetheless is in a better state than it was. But the other thing is the connection that has been formed between the people on this call and the local people, the current inhabitants, and it's extraordinary. I see Adam's on the call. I don't know whether there are any others who actually live in Piotrakov, but I think what we have done here as a group is really remarkable. And the trip that we were on last year showed that to me, and showed that we can build something to remember both the good and the less good things that happened in Piotrkov, but a true history. And I think that's helpful to us and future generations of our families, but also for the local inhabitants. And there's lots of work to be done. I don't want to go on and say what we need to do and details because I don't know and this isn't best for me. But what I wanted to do was just to let you have a feeling from me of how I view everything and how thankful I am to Netanel and to so many others for bringing me in and giving the opportunity. Particularly, I feel very fortunate that unlike some who go and they cling on to memories, but they don't have their parent there, I've actually gone with my father, and I feel extremely lucky and privileged that I've been able to do that. I want my children and grandchildren and future generations also to understand a little bit more, and for the memories of our predecessors to be rightly held true and recognized. I will stop there, Netta, now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Michael. I'm just taking one point from what you said, that Piotrkov is like privilege, zchut, that we have the story, okay? We have people who told the story. We have the book, the great book in Hebrew, in Yiddish, in Polish of Naftali Lavi. And the second author was Yaakov Maltz, editor, not author, editor. We have the massive book of Ben Giladi, and we have the Hedim and the Voice, and we have people still to talk to. There's Robert Dessau, and Yoel Brandwein, and Hillel Yarkoni, and Bel Helfgott, and we have, it's amazing, we have still people that you can talk to them, and you can listen from first hand Piotrkov stories. It's really a big miracle, or it's a big option. It's part of our responsibility to continue the stories to further generations. Thank you very much, Michael, and best regards to your father and to your aunt, Mala.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll go from England to, so we visited Israel, we went to England, on our way to the United States. I want to invite Alan Silverstein to come on, Alan, introduce yourself and say your words, and we are with you.
Thank you. It's you know, it's unbelievably gratifying to see how many of the faces and names I know well. Even my dear cousin Noah is on the call, and others I'll mention in my little comments. The reason I have genuine yichus in Piotrkov, so let me tell you what they are. But the real reason I think I'm here as a second generation is not to talk about Piotrkov, but to encourage everyone who is so committed to building bridges, not only of memory, but to the home city, because we have a...
Alan, just introduce yourself. Say like a sentence or two. Who are you? Where do you come from? Okay.
I am. So I'm Alan Silverstein. I'm in New Jersey, just outside New York City. And I'm here because my father, Leon Silverstein, was born in Piotrkov. He was born in 1905. He lived with his family, one of the youngest children at Chernieko, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, number 9. I don't know if there are any neighbors here, but I've been to that house. It was a small house. My father's story, just briefly, again, because there's so many people in Israel, is that as a young man, he was very Zionist, went to a training farm and joined a kfutza, which went to Israel, to Palestine, set up in Petah Tikva in 1926. And if anyone has connections or roots that go back there to these kibbutzniks who didn't have any land, I would love to hear from you, because I'm still trying to understand what life was like then. But for family reasons, he went back to Poland, to Piotrkov, for what he thought would be a short visit with his father and his brothers and sisters. Instead, he was drafted into the Polish army, And it was not an eventful service in the army, but he was stationed in the city of Częstochowa. And while he was in the city of Częstochowa, working in the army, he met a young woman who was several generations from Częstochowa by the name of Rosa Rosenblatt, who's my mother. And they decided to stay in Częstochowa. They built a business and a family with 2 children, 2 boys, and survived the war in the ghetto in Częstochowa, lost their 2 children, and after the war left for Germany for refuge, and that's where I was born. So I was born, I'm second generation like many of you, but born right after the war in Germany. And from Germany, they emigrated to the United States. And I pursued, we had a, you know, I pursued an American life. I was a leader in business. The real reason I'm being invited, I think, to participate this morning, today, is that about 20 years ago, my older cousin, Sigmund Rolat, Rosenblatt, who also survived with my parents but lost his parents, and I and others visited Częstochowa and Poland, and there started a journey for me for the last 20 years, which has been very meaningful and very deep. It never would have happened without my cousin, because he was from Częstochowa. He spoke Polish beautifully, speaks Polish beautifully. And, but between the 2 of us, we got very, very involved in connections between the Jewish community of Częstochowa and the contemporary, the current Polish community in Częstochowa. Now we have several advantages over פיוטרקוב in this effort. First is that this started 20 years ago. The second was that we were actually invited to get involved by a local professor, Jerzy Mozgalski, a professor of education at a local university, who at the time invited us to help him put on an exhibition about the Jewish contribution to the development of Częstochowa. So this was really the inception of this came not from us Jews looking to make our acquaintance, but from a local Christian Polish academic who had discovered the history and the deep history of Jewish involvement, where Jews were once 1/3, like in פיוטרקוב, 1/3 of the population, and very deeply involved in the development of the city over the years, and its not only in its business, but in its culture, in its politics, and so forth. And he had discovered it and did some academic writing about it and wanted to explore it further. And I won't go into all the details. Heidi knows many of them. Heidi Ulrich is with us today, and she also has roots in Częstochowa. Heidi, do you have roots in פיוטרקוב as well? You're on mute, so we can see your lips moving, but I can't see. But we'll catch it up. So this journey started, and we had the museum exhibition in Częstochowa 20 years ago. We had gatherings. We had reunions, academic symposia, many events which brought Częstochowa Jews from around the world to the city to meet each other, and also to meet with the city, with the mayor, with academics, with religious leaders. And the other advantage I should mention is that there are some Jewish survivors, Jewish heritage. There is an active social club with perhaps 100 members, of whom maybe 30 are identified Jews and their family members. And they observe all the holidays, they have parties, they have celebrations. It really is quite inspiring to see. I get pictures of the Hanukkah celebrations and so forth. So someone's not on mute.
Hello.
I'll check who is it. Okay, Alan, you can continue.
Anyway, the point is that today in Czestochowa, we have an active Jewish community, an advantage that Piotr doesn't have. But we also have a wonderfully supportive city government. We have a permanent museum today in Czestochowa of Jewish history. We have a monument, a beautiful monument that many of you have seen in Czestochowa at the Umschlagplatz of Czestochowa, commemorating the Holocaust and the 40,000 Jews who were deported from there and killed in Treblinka. We have a concert series. The Symphonic Orchestra of Czestochowa, the Philharmonic Orchestra, has been renamed the Huberman Orchestra in honor of Huberman, who was a violinist, not only a prodigy of which Czestochowa, all Czechoslovaks are very proud, not just Jewish Czechoslovaks, but is also the founder of the Palestine, now the Israel Philharmonic. I'm sure many of you know that history. But every 2 years, it's a biennial concert, and it honors Jewish memory as well. Anyway, I can go on, but I really want to say that with people like Dina and Irving and Nataliel and other leaders of the Piotrkov Jewish community worldwide, there's every reason to hope and believe that we can build these same bridges between the diaspora community of Piotrkov and the current contemporary population of Piotrkov, not as outsiders, not as interlopers, not as people knocking on the door insisting on being recognized, but as partners in remembering our deep roots in the city of Piotrkov. The country of Poland has to recognize that it has never been a single religion, single culture, that it was a country was built by many communities in which the Jews were a very significant component. There were more Jews living in Poland for 1,000 years, and Jews were a larger part of the population, a higher portion of the population of Poland than in any other country in the world before the existence of the State of Israel. So we have every right to demand recognition of our part in that part of the world, and I think it's a worthy pursuit. Those are my comments.
Okay, thank you very much, Alan, from New Jersey. We really remember the amazing visit we had to Czestochowa that you arranged for us in the last Shabbaton. And now I want to invite Yoel Brandwein, because Holocaust survivors, you cannot say no to Holocaust survivors, yeah? So if Yoel wants to say something, מירי, אולי תפתחי את המיקרופון, אם הוא יכול להגיד באנגלית, כמובן. Okay, Yoel, come on, Yoel, we hear you.
נו, תדבר, שים לו את התמונה של נתנאל.
Nathanael, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Yoel?
Thank you. Listen, I had a visit last night. The nephew of my brother's son, Motti, he told me that you sent him a picture of my uncle. It was a really a nice and interesting picture because it was before the war.
תגיד לו את השם, פטר.
Moshe Yitzhak.
Okay.
So if you would like you to send to me the same picture.
Okay, Yoel, but say something to all Piotr descendants. You know, they're all listening to you now. All Piotr descendants from around the world.
צאצאים מפיוטרקוב מקשיבים לך, תגיד משהו. צאצאים מפיוטרקוב, הילדים של כל זה.
We had we had a very big family, from the brothers and sisters.
What is the address that you lived in פיוטרקוב? What is the address?
The address. What's the address? The address. No, but not far from each other, and we were living because we didn't have something else.
Okay, Yoel. So Yoel is another Holocaust survivor that is with us. He used to have a twin brother, Shaya, who died lastly. And once we visited Poland with both of them, it was an amazing visit. Now, Lidka is online. Lidka is with us. She is an English teacher from פיוטרקוב, Polish English teacher, but she has some problems with the Zoom. So I want to share the PowerPoint that she prepared for the talk. We just see the PowerPoint. Lidka is here?
Yes.
Okay.
I changed the file.
Okay, and you have the PowerPoint, or you want me to show it?
I want you to show it because
okay, so I'll do share screen. Just a minute.
Sorry?
I'll do share screen. Just a minute. Okay, and you tell me when to pass the signs.
Okay, so as Nathaniel said, I'm an English teacher, so I teach English. I do not teach history or things like that. I teach language, and the presentation that I'm going to share was prepared for last year when I took part in a seminar in the US about and the idea was to show briefly some ideas about the projects connected with Holocaust, with Jewish culture that we are doing as my school. So as you can see, what is written here is that the projects were performed by students of the second high school, but I just want to add that the projects which are mentioned in this presentation were also performed by students of other high schools, and in every, or let's say in the most important 3 high schools plus 2 vocational high schools, there are coordinators who also took part in some of these activities. This presentation, in this presentation, I focus on my school, but it's not only my school that was doing lots of these ideas. Okay, and as you can see, I chose the picture that I chose because I think it's one of the most special places in our hometown. So the wall, it's like being in Piotrków and not being close to the wall. It could be like 2 completely different visits. So I think that if everyone is going there, every person needs to stand there, and not just visitors, obviously, but also citizens of Piotrków. So what I always say that the main idea, my main idea is to bring my students closer to the wall, not obviously just in physical sense, but also spiritual, so they could understand what really happened there. Okay, so we can move to the second slide. Yes, so as you can see, it's just some ideas what we do with our students. Most of them obviously from high school, but sometimes from other schools as well. We organize city walks, guided tours with students. I do it as an English lesson. So basically my students have tasks to do. They need to prepare some info in English about Piotrkov's monuments, and always there is a group who prepares something about the Jewish community, the synagogue, and so on. So we just go there, we visit the places, we talk about it in English, and we cheat a little bit, so sometimes also in Polish, because you know I need to perform that as an English teacher. Okay, and we can go to next slide. So this is just a few info about a project called Keep Remembrance, History and Culture of Two Nations. This project is organized by Ośrodek Rozwoju Edukacji and Yad Vashem Institute. And basically the idea is to prepare teachers so they can be able to organize meetings of Polish and Israeli youth. And we started it in 2013. It was first high school and my high school. And we started our first meeting, or our first partner school was school in Nazareth Elite. But it was changed later on, and we started meetings with schools from Nestayona, the town which became our partner city. And my school has has been doing visits to Golda Meir High School in Nestayona. Okay, and we can go to another slide. So what you can see right there are the pictures of students and of just some of the meetings. The biggest picture with Dina in the middle is from our first meeting when there were students from Nazareth Elite. And one of the pictures is from the meeting in the Center of Dialogue in Łódź that was also organized. And we can go to another slide. Yes, so also our students, students from all the high schools that I mentioned, from five high schools, are volunteers and take part in Shabbatons. And also we had one very special meeting on 11th of May 2018 with Amichai Laulavi, the grandson of the last rabbi of פיוטרקוב, and a group of people from Jewish Heritage Museum in New York. The meeting was it was about 2 hours long, so it was too short. There were so many things to talk about and so little time, but you know, it's always better than nothing. And next slide. Next slide is about meetings also with Dina. So we had meetings connected with the Jewish life. There were a few meetings. One of them was a Hanukkah holiday in the beginning, then also about Jewish life. And another slide. So this is a project inspired by the memory, and basically the idea was to create a short video about the Second World War. So this is something I was doing with my students. So you can see just a few pictures from this from movie making time. And next slide. So it's the situation. I mean, we were able to take part in official ceremonies. One of them was signing the agreement of Twin Cities when Nestayona became our partner city, and then there was the ceremony of giving the award of the righteous among the nations. So I think it was very special for my students that they could be they could witness such an event. And the last slide. It's something I also prepared with my students. It were just 2 or 3 performances where students, which were totally and completely prepared by my students. So they wrote the script and then they performed and they prepared the setting or some props that were used. And basically they created the story of two families, one Jewish and one Russian family, to show the life that happened in פיוטרקוב before the war. And the inspiration for was the life of a Jewish gynecologist who helped to a Russian woman to deliver a baby. So that's in short about, I mean, some basic info about most of the projects that we did.
Okay, thank you very much, Litka, for sharing with us. Yeah, we can clap hands, everyone. Just a minute, I'll do unmute. Just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do. And, okay. Now you can clap hands, okay? Unmute all. Okay, so that's for you.
Could I have a minute?
Afterwards,
Okay.
afterwards, not now, okay?
Plus ou moins. Voilà, mais ils sont nombreux parce qu'en fait,
So thank you very much, Lidka, for sharing with us. We really appreciate you personally, and we know how many activities you lead in פיוטרקוב, and we see the results with the students every time we come. Thank you very much, and I'm sure we'll be in touch in the future more. I want to invite now from Lidka, I want to invite Dina. Dina Feldman is one of the most activists in all the commemoration of פיוטרקוב community. And Dina will share with us some of the projects and some of her perspectives about all what's happening in פיוטרקוב and the relations between the Jewish community and projects that are now occurring in פיוטרקוב. Dina, בבקשה. תפתחי רק את המיקרופון, דינה. רגע, אני אחפש אותך.
Hello all. It's a pleasure for me to meet you all and share with you some of the many activities that are going on regarding the commemoration of the Jewish community of פיוטרקוב. But before describing you what's going on, I just would like to remind ourselves what exactly is still in פיוטרקוב. I mean, sites and places. So what we have now is a great synagogue and the Bet Midrash, which until half a year ago were the main library, and now it's going to be to host the פיוטרקוב archive, state archive, for several years until they will rebuild a new building for them, and then who knows what will be there. And it's a very important site, and we have to be sure that we will be able to enter it also in the time of the new host there. It's not trivial. We have to make clear that that's what we want. Secondly, we have the cemetery. Actually, we have two cemeteries. One is the old one, which we have only the monument. It's nearby the eastern wall of the great synagogue. Not many knows about it. And then we have the new synagogue, which is also a very important site for all of us. And it's not, as you said, not in a good shape. However, I have very good news for you, that finally the Jewish Federation of Łódź has started with our small help to work on renovating the cemetery, and we already have started to get, they have a plan which has three parts. One, the fence, which is very problematic. The other is the tombs, a lot of work to do there. And the third one is what we call curing house, in which Janina lives there. And very soon we are going for the first stage, renovating the fence. We got a donation to do that, and there are more that hopefully will come. In the building is going to be probably kind of a Jewish museum or a cultural museum, and we still will have together to see what kind of exhibition, what kind of activity will be there, together with the owner of the place, which is a Jewish Federation of Łódź. And of course, we have the old city, which used to be the Jewish quarter and the Jewish ghetto, and also some other streets that are not included in the old city. But the news regarding this area is that the municipality has decided to renovate the old city, and slowly there are new buildings there, they are renovating, and all this old city is going to be a great attraction, and we have to think what we would like that will be also our part in all these projects. We don't have recognized Jews in פיוטרקוב. The closest community is a Łódź Jewish community, which, as I said, is owner of the cemetery and used to be the owner of the Great Synagogue, which was sold by them to the municipality. Now the municipality is the owner of the Great Synagogue and the Bet HaMidrash. Maybe luckily, I don't know. And we have also some sites out of פיוטרקוב in the neighborhood, like small cities, Suleo, Volbush, Pshetbush, etc., which actually are deeply connected to the history of the פיוטרקוב Jews, and Częstochowa, in which many of the Jews worked in the Hasag factory. So it's not only פיוטרקוב and the old city, it's much broader, and I look at that as from like a region point of view. But the most important, I think, that we have in פיוטרקוב and in the neighborhood are the people. People like Litka, people like Jacek Bikowski, people like Adam, people like Renata, Kravchik, and many other activists that are very good friends of us, and we are working together. So this is what we have right now in reality. What we have also, I don't know if it's virtual, but who are also in the network. First of all, we have two organizations. One, Irving, is the president of it in New York City, and the other is an Israeli organization, and Itzik Tushinsky is the chairman. They are very helpful. They are initiating a project, taking care of fundraising, etc. And because of them, I mean, we have website. I say we.
Dina, 1 minute, 1 minute, okay? Irvin has a new granddaughter, so we all now unmute you and we say Mazel Tov to Irvin. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Okay, okay, Dina, you can continue.
Okay, so we have.
רגע, דינה, עכשיו פתחתי אותך, כן.
So we have two organizations with very good people working voluntarily about how to preserve the Jewish heritage or commemorate it. Now there is a website with a lot of material in Hebrew and English, and some of it is also Polish. And we are now in a process of getting a new manager of the website in order to put much more information that we already have, like very old tombs of the cemetery, stories, new books that were published. So the website is very interesting to look at. We have two Facebook groups, one in Hebrew, which Tomer Peled is administrating, and one is mine, I say mine, which we have like 650 members from all kinds, very active, very fascinating. I like to administrate it, and everybody is invited to join it. And people are asking for help, for asking questions, having a lot of photos, etc., etc. And we have also the annual journal, Edim Voice, the bilingual. Hopefully one day it will be trilingual. And now we have the Zoom network and the Shabbatonim annually or in 2 years. We have memorial ceremonies in Israel, in New York, and also in פיוטרקוב, made by the municipality. They are doing a lot in פיוטרקוב. Sometimes we don't know about it. They have concerts, they are doing exhibition, and but there are memorial ceremonies like that. Now we are working on some projects in addition to the cemetery. First, to our great joy, Moshe Sendowski, I think his son Erez is here.
Erez is with us, yeah.
Yeah. So Erez very helpful to work with his father, Moshe Sendowski, with sculpture.
Hi there.
Prepared. Where are you? Hi, Erez.
On his car, he's on his car.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Moshe has prepared a model of a monument, memorial monument, that we hope to put in the Umschlagplatz. Maybe I will be able later on to share with you the monument. There are already negotiations where will be the location. It's not confirmed by the municipality, but we hope that it will work well with the plaques in the memory of the city, etc., etc. I myself am working on a book in Hebrew, and then it will be translated to English about Ghetto פיוטרקוב with a lot of new information that I found in archives all over in Poland, in Germany, in Israel, of course, in US, etc. We have also a plan to prepare an exhibition. Shamefully enough, פיוטרקוב is almost the only city in the region. They don't have any exhibition about the Jewish history of the residents. Once there was in the museum, but not anymore. There are many Judaica stuff, and there are paintings, and there are a lot of documents in the museum, in the archive, but no exhibition, permanent exhibition. And we have started to try to plan it, and we don't know yet where it will be. First we thought in the synagogue, but then in the Meditech, the new building, and maybe now it will be in the new building in the cemetery. We don't know, but we have started to think about exhibition. What I mean is permanent exhibition and mobile exhibition, which will be a high-tech based exhibition. And I am telling you everything because our request is that if there is anybody from this group or from the families of friends that is interested in one of these projects, so you are warmly invited to participate, because we are a group of some crazy individuals doing all the work, but we like very much to have teams to work together, like as we worked with the people from פיוטרקוב and as the people from the organizations. There are also tours that are taking place in פיוטרקוב. There are lectures that mainly are given to students. And what I'm trying to say that the sky are the limits. What any idea, or every idea that you have, you want, you are enthusiastic to do on personal level, on a family level, or I don't know what, please contact us. We are very open. We will be very happy to have you with us.
Okay,
Now I want to...
נסיים? זה כבר ככה...
Yeah, of course. Now the last part that I also would like you to learn about is the idea that we are working a lot about making connection between the Jews and the Poles regarding the common history that we have, the good and the less good, but we have now, we are now building also kind of bridges between Poland and Israel. And the platform that I'm involved in is what we call the Litka mentioned it, partner cities. So פיוטרקוב has a partner city in Israel, Nes Ziona, and much is going on there. I mean, there are cultural exchanges, delegations from Israel came, musicians, artists, and it's a very, very good connection we have with the city, with the mayor, with the city, many officials there. We did some exhibition. If is anybody that is interested, I will share later on. But the main platform is the partnership between high schools. Every high school in פיוטרקוב has a partner in Nes Ziona, which is visiting Poland and פיוטרקוב and starting to build kind of partnerships that will work also on project and many ideas that they will have. Actually, in about 2 weeks, beginning of June, a delegation of, I think, 7 teachers who are the coordinators of פיוטרקוב and 7 leaders, students, high school students, supposed to come to Israel to be hosted by Nes Ziona and by the organization, but of course, because of the corona, it's not, it was postponed. I'm just giving you a test and a sense of what's going on. Believe me, much more is going on. And I would like to finalize my presentation. We thank many of the people that are now participating that I feel very close, good friends, good partner. It's in Netanel and Hillel and Sophia and Erez and Miri and many of Irvin and Robert and Ben, Helfgott, many of them. And I feel very grateful and very privileged to be together with you and to try to do something about the history of our family, which I think is very, very important also for the future of the next generations. Thank you.
Okay, Dina, thank you very much. It's the opportunity now to say thank you to Dina for the amazing work you are doing, all voluntarily. She's amazing, has amazing knowledge and connections to פיוטרקוב, and it's a good way to be in touch with her. Anyone who needs Dina's email, you can get it. You can send me email or WhatsApp, and I'll send it to you. Okay, we have, as you said, Dina, 2 things. We are one family. Okay, we are like cousins. Anyone that is coming from פיוטרקוב is like cousins or second cousins. And sometimes in the Shabbaton, people found that they are the same families and they didn't know from before. Okay, so now we came to the final part of this special meeting, second meeting of פיוטרקוב descendants. I want to say a few notes before we end. We have some more futures. I think the Zoom opens new possibilities. Okay, like we see here, 60 people joined this call, more than 60, yeah? Because some of the people are more than one. We plan every month to do one meeting like that with different program or agenda in each time. We plan another course about Jewish community of פיוטרקוב, 6 meetings. We'll send it to you by email. And we also plan a dialogue group between Jewish descendants of פיוטרקוב and Polish residents, like Lidka, like Adam, like Jacek. And we might have also a virtual tour to Piotr. We will go together through Zoom to have a virtual tour. So they are all plans that we have in the future. If anyone wants to help or to get involved, please be in touch through WhatsApp, through email, or maybe through the chat. I want to thank all the people who talked today, to Hillel Yarkoni, to Michael, to Alan, to Lidka, to Dina. You are all blessed. I want to thank especially Robert Dessau, okay? And just a minute, I'll do unmute all. Robert Dessau has a lot of clap. Really, really special. All the things we do is in his vision. He's from behind, pushing all of us to do all our work. I will send the link to the meeting today, to all the emails and the WhatsApp list. Anyone who has more addresses of emails that you want to add to our Google group, please send it to me, or send it to me. And the last thing, if anyone wants to donate, there are a lot of expenses to all these projects that Dina showed, and also to this Zoom work. So if anyone wants to donate some money, you can be in touch with Erwin or with Dina or with me. And I think by this we'll end. Today in Israel, it's a Jerusalem Day. Okay, this is the day when 53 years ago, Jerusalem was captured or dismissed by Tzahal, by IDF. And I think it is symbolic that we met today. This in Israel, it's already night. And it's also part of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the center for peace, center of healing. And it's also symbolic that our second meeting was in the day that Jerusalem was back to Israel. So thank you very much. We finished now the official meeting. If anyone wants to ask any questions, anyone can leave. Okay, you can leave now, so we finished. Let's just finish. Please put the sign of the address in Piotr. We'll finish by that. Everyone put the signs, okay, of the addresses that you have in Piotr. Okay, okay. Jerusalemska, Slavsasa 25. Okay, put all the addresses that you have. And we finished. Thank you very much. We finished the official meeting. Now, anyone who wants to stay, you can stay. Hello, Baruch also. And thank you very much to all of you that joined us for this special meeting. Thank you very, very much. I'll do unmute to everyone. And please, anyone wants to say something, that's the time. Other people, please mute yourself.
Can I say something? My name is Natalie. Yes. I lived in Virginia for many years. I live in Philadelphia now. I just had a book published, Remembering Ravensbrück, which includes my life in Piotr as well. I was born in Piotr.
Show us the book. Show us the book.
The book is called Remembering Ravensbrück, From Holocaust to Healing. You can get it at Amazon.com.
Okay, please send us the name of the book, so we'll send it also to everyone that is interested, okay? What's your name?
Natalie S.
Ah, Natalie S. Okay, any more comments? Open meeting now.
סמיאל, אני רוצה להעיר משהו.
אז באנגלית, הלל, באנגלית, in English.
אתה שומע אותי?
כן, באנגלית, הלל, באנגלית.
באנגלית, אוקיי. I just want, you asked me before this session what I think done in order to maintain the memory of events in Piotr. I think the best answer is what Miss Pani Lidia Henczewska, Anna Rzędowska, and Dina Feldman are doing. I think this is the answer to it.
Okay.
The best. הרבה בריאות.
Okay, thank you, Hillel. Any more comments or questions or remarks that you want to say, you want to share?
Yeah, the appropriate way is to say
Shlomo, can you open your camera?
was liberated.
Can you open your camera, Shlomo?
אני באוטו, אני לא מצליח.
Okay, what do you, so you can say.
The right in English is that Jerusalem was liberated, reunited.
Okay, liberated. Sorry.
100%.
Okay, any more comments?
Yeah, I have one.
Ellen Corman, come on. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tana. Just to say that I'm really interested in the cemetery project, and that last year I started a partnership with someone in the small town of Tushin to commemorate their completely unmarked, invisible cemetery. But also I was in touch with Matseva Foundation, whatever it's called, this organization that helps to create partnerships and teams to repair the cemeteries that need it. And to me, this cemetery in פיוטרקוב really, really needs it. So I don't know who in the group is involved in that, but I would love to
be in touch with Dina, okay? Dina, I'll give you her email. You can be in touch with Dina, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ellen. Any more people wants to ask, want to share something? Jan, we don't hear you. Open your microphone.
Okay, this is Jan Schwartz from Copenhagen.
Okay.
And I just want to say that...
Our representative in Sweden, yeah?
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay, Denmark, sorry.
Yeah, and I just want to say that my dear father is 93 years old in good health, and he was born and raised in פיוטרקוב. And I'm going to tell him about this meeting today, and maybe he will be able to participate in the next meeting.
Okay,
so
we're happy to interview him or for him to say some words. You know?
Yeah, it would have to be in Polish or Yiddish.
Yiddish is
or
okay.
Danish.
You will translate to English, from Yiddish to English.
Yeah,
Jan
sure.
is a professor for Yiddish in Sweden, yeah? Not in...
yeah, in Lund University.
Professor for Yiddish, and he joined one of the Shabbatonim 2 years ago.
Actually, 2 of them.
Anyone here who wants to learn Yiddish, Jan is the address, okay?
Absolutely, you're all welcome.
Okay.
Okay, sei gesund.
Seid gesund, seid gesund. Okay, anyone wants to say anything? Erwin or anyone more?
Yeah, I would just like to take the opportunity to thank you, Nathaniel, for organizing this, because you're kind of like the glue when it comes to communicating with people and bringing us all together. Thank Nina, because he's really the engine and the fire behind all the various projects, and probably the one person who has established the very important relationships, like Hillary Arconi mentioned, in terms of the people there in Jefferson. Just to say, the Robert Dessau's of the world, the Ben Helfgott's of the world, the Shraga Milsteins of the world, and everybody else who I know less well, but hear about, our drive, I think our collective desire to see all these things happen. I want to mention the website. It's very important. The person, again, who drove it and is putting it together or arranging to make things come together is Dina. She's been the editor, like you were, Nathaniel, I believe, before her, of Haydim the Voice, which is named after your Israeli publication and Ben Giladi's publication, to try and put together many stories and history and other things in a written form. Some people asked about the name of the website. I think Dina sent out before the address of the website. The website has lots of stuff in it, including all the Haydim the Voice periodicals with all the many beautiful articles in history that contains there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Erwin. And again, Mazal Tov for your new granddaughter.
Thank you. Her name is Esther Noah.
Esther Noah, it's like a name from פיוטרקוב, you know, Esther, at least Esther. Robert, can you open your microphone?
I
have a problem.
I opened. Now you say some words. It's open. We all hear you. Say something. What do you feel now when you see
התותחים הם באמריקה, בקנדה.
Robert, come on, we hear
Yeah.
it.
I'm a lousy speaker, but anyhow, I want to congratulate you and Dina and all the other people participating in this Zoom meeting. It's very important. I'm very encouraged to continue with our projects, and what I'll do whatever I can. I promise to do my very best.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
What is the address
All the best.
that you lived in פיוטרקוב? What is the address that you lived there?
The address I was in Piotrków was Pilsudskiego 86. It's today it's called Wojskowa ulica.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert. You are one of my highest mentors in life, you know? You have to know that.
Don't exaggerate.
Okay, no, I'm
anyway,
not. And welcome to Itzik,
thank you.
The president of the committee in Israel.
Thank you. Thank you and Dina and Irving and Michael and all the others.
Adam Mishkevitz is on. Adam is here with us.
Jacek.
Very important to know about Adam.
Okay,
Jacek
Adam, where are you?
Bukowski.
You want to say some words, Adam?
So I just want to thank all of you for being here today. I'm very happy that I can be here again with you, and I hope to see you again in future. Also to Dina, I will contact with you about this online site of the cemetery project. I want to engage in that.
Okay, and how is פיוטרקוב dealing with the corona, with the COVID-19?
I think it's better and better. Actually, now I'm in Warsaw, and everything is going to be well. I think. I hope so. Restaurants are open now, so it's better and better.
Okay, regards to Warsaw, and thank you very much, Adam, for joining us this meeting and all your voluntary activities.
For all of you.
איציק, אני רואה אותך.
Okay, Itzik, you want to say something?
דינה, אני שמעתי מה שאת אמרת. I hear...
Itzik, say something to everyone, not to Dina.
אנחנו רוצים לשמוע אותך עכשיו.
Sorry, but yes, I have finished working just now, so...
Itzik, say something.
I was in the audio, I hear what you...
אוקיי, מדבר שלמה גבע.
כן, שלמה, בבקשה.
אוקיי, אני גר באבנטורה, פלורידה. I'll speak in English. Yeah, I live in Aventura, Florida, and during the 90s, I used to entertain the פיוטרקוב groups. My father for פיוטרקוב, Avram Schittenberg. However, his lifelong friend, Shlomo Neumann, or Sol Newman of Brooklyn, unfortunately, 3 weeks ago, passed away. He was a member of a group in New York, and he was buried in Beth Israel, New Jersey, at the property of the פיוטרקוב organization. So Shlomo Newman, or Sol Newman, rest in peace, one of פיוטרקוב, my father's long friend. So that's a message. I know sometimes in the Hadim, they will put the name. So if I sent you information, please, so this way people will know. He lived in Brooklyn, and his son Michael still lives over there.
Tommy, if we find, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
If we find addresses in פיוטרקוב, to whom should we send them?
I don't know if anyone's collecting that.
Yeah, please send it to me. I already put my email aside, and you can send me, because we are trying now, one of our dreams is to prepare a map.
Yes.
With all the families that live in the old city, at least, which will be with links and with stories. It's a huge dream, and Gil is one of the creator of it, Gil Pasternak. So we really will appreciate getting addresses of families, getting photos of families, getting documents, everything that you have. Please, please don't throw away anything, because it's a history, we need it, and we promise you that we take care on scanning them. Hopefully they will be on website. It's in our pocket. I mean, this plan is, and thank you for asking. It's very, very important. Addresses, photos, documents, stories, maybe in the website will be, maybe in our project. So you have my email.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
גיל, אתה רוצה להוסיף משהו בקשר לזה או...
I think it's too early to say much more about it, but yes, we've got many plans, let's say, for now. And Dina and Netanel and myself, we've been in very close discussions recently about various ideas. I'm going to keep it a little bit vague because I don't want to raise expectations and make any promises. It's all rolling and we're trying to put something together. I'm going to get in touch with quite a few of you separately to run some ideas, get some feedback. And probably it's best to leave it there, but I would just say once again that we are trying to really renovate some, to preserve and to maintain some of the things that already exist, for sure. But we're also having some discussions to think about the future and future generations and the second and third generations, fourth generations as well, with a view to creating other opportunities and other possibilities for future generations to engage with the amazing stories of our families, the amazing stories of Piotr in the interwar period, the Holocaust period, perhaps also slightly after that. And watch this space, as they say, to be continued.
Vera, do you want to introduce yourself? Or Heidi, where do you speak from? Or Barry Hannick, I see people that I don't recognize.
I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Okay, okay. And hello, Mark Gold is another part of our family. Gil Pasternak and Mark Gold are from the same family, Golders, but we don't see your face. We just see that you are here.
Okay, well, here we go. Here we go.
You know Gil Pasternak? We have the same great-grandmother. Tova Gold.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I just, what I wanted, if I can speak a couple of seconds here. First of all,
where do you speak from, Mark? Introduce yourself.
Okay, I speak from Long Island, New York, the heart of Corona Town. And I just wanted to compliment you, Nathaniel, and Robert Dessau, and Herb, and a number of other people for kind of keeping the flame alive. You know, both my parents, I had the opportunity, which was a great opportunity, to go with you and on one of the Shabbatons. It lined up just right. I've been meaning to go on a second and third Shabbaton. And, you know, both my parents were born in Piotr under the name, last name was Goldhirsch, and my mom's maiden name was Sachs. And both my parents passed away on the first day of Passover, 10 years apart, you know, going back to 2006 and 2016. So to me, you know, keeping the flame alive is very, very important. I also had a great opportunity to go with, I believe, a relative of yours, Jeremy Kurnitz, a relative of us collectively. and tour not only Pietkov, but the surrounding areas and kind of develop kind of a full appreciation of how the Jews were mistreated, but kind of going back to how the Jews in many parts were the heart and soul of Poland, and everything that was lost as a result of the Nazis coming in there. So, you know, all I'm going to say is just kind of continue the great efforts. So hopefully they just support you, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to go again on the Shabbaton. It's one of the more memorable things that I've done over the last many, many years. So thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Mark, say hello to my father, Ishayahu Yechieli.
Hi, Shaya Yechieli. How you?
This family.
You have a very young looking father, I'll tell you.
Okay, any more comments? Any more comments, questions? Hello to Baruch Chris, the one who plays in all the ceremonies we have in Israel.
Very exciting. So let's keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello to everyone. Thank you very, very much for joining us this special meeting. We'll send you a link and we'll send you further emails, and be in touch. Give us more emails, we will add to the list. And thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much for joining this special meeting. Hello לידקה, ביי ביי. Hello Mark. טוב, אני אסע כבר. רק אני אגיד להם שלום. אין סוגר, אתה יודע, זה מדהים, היו 60 איש. אוקיי. גיל, מה העניינים, גיל? נעשה פה זה. מרק, stay a minute, where is Mark? גיל, מרק הוא, אתה מכיר את מרק? אתה יודע מי זה מרק?
לא.
מרק הוא גולדירש, גולד זה גולדירש, כן? זה קרוב שלנו. אתה תכיר אותו.
נעים להכיר.
גולד זה קיצור של גולדירש. אבא, תפתח את המיקרופון.
הבנתי.
Robert, how are you?
Hi.
Mark, say hello to your far relative, Gil Pasternak from England.
Hold on one second. Hold on a second.
Mark, he's from Goldish family. You see Gil Pasternak?
Hold on, please.
Hold on.
Hi, Robert.
No, Mark,
Hold
say
on.
relative.
Hold on. I was having technical difficulties. 1 second, please. I will be right with you. Okay, perfect. So, can you repeat that, please, Nathaniel?
Gil Pasternak is from Goldish family, so we are from all the same family.
Hi, Gil. How you doing?
Hi there.
Where are you based, Gil? Where do you live?
Right now, I live in Leicester, UK.
Leicester, UK.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Originally from Israel, but I've been living in the UK for a couple, 20 years now, nearly 20 years.
So how far is Leicester from what I'll call the city itself, City Wharf, that area there?
From London, you mean?
Yes.
It's about an hour by train and about 2.5 hours by car, depending on how fast you drive.
Are you still in quasi-lockdown in London?
Yes, we are. But they're gradually easing the restrictions, and I think we're heading another disaster. They're talking about a second wave in June. We're already #1 in Europe, and it's not a great honor, obviously. So I think we're competing only with the United States at the moment, and in June we are going to get it once again, by the sound of it.
You know, unfortunately, they're looking for a couple of Korbanim in New York, so they're slowly opening up. They're slowly permitting this week for the first time to have minyanim limited to 10 people. And I guess we'll know within a couple of weeks if that was a wise idea or not a wise idea. But sorry, I had missed you. So your background to פיוטרקוב is what now again?
My background?
Yes. to פיוטרקוב. What's your roots to פיוטרקוב?
Right. So I'm part of the Goldish family, like yourself.
Goldhirsch family, really?
Goldhirsch, yes, yes. So Tova, you know, she's the grandmother of myself and Netanel. I'm not sure how you are connected to her, but you must have heard of Tova.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So her daughter, one of her daughters, was my grandmother.
Ah,
so
okay.
this is one side, and then I'm also connected to the Dwuzhnovsky family on the other side, but this is slightly less